Alright, testing 1, 2. Alright, testing 1, 2. There we go. Okay, I know nobody's here right now. We're gonna be starting with Lupus Aureus. And when we are done here, we're gonna be moving on to Yoimiya, Liney, and the others. So we're gonna knock out Sumeru, get that done, and take care of Baiju and Yoimiya. All right. Alrighty. Okay. So Lotus Somno, Lupus Aureus, and Manticora.
Traveler in Paimon?
Are you here for some shopping too?
That's right. Although there were a few hiccups here and there, the Sabzerus Festival turned out to be a grand success. And so, the theater wants to host a celebration event. Do you two want to come? It'll be a really fun time. It's something like a tradition of ours. Whenever we wrap an important performance, we'll get together and unwind. Rehearsals are exhausting. If you keep your nose to the grindstone, you're going to wipe yourself out sooner or later. Mr. Zubair, our manager, always says that celebrations aren't just for fun, but that they should also be occasions for reflection and review. But no one remembers that once the celebration starts. It's not like he can't also have some fun himself.
We've been to a lot of festivals during our adventures. Will your celebration also have lots of yummy food and drinks?
Of course. We always do lots of eating, toasting, and gift exchanging. We try really hard to show our appreciation for everyone.
Ah, so we'll need to bring a present. Hey! Paimon's gonna put you in a box first!
It's fine. No need to stress, Paimon. You can come. present or not. The gift exchange is just to make the celebration more entertaining. You two being there would be the best gift of all. It'll also be a good time to introduce you to the rest of the theater.
Is something up?
You mean when I danced at the square right in front of the academia? Not a sip. After that, no one came to the theater to scold me either. We actually gained many new customers. From what I can tell, in the past, if a student were to put off their studies to watch it, but now, it seems like this attitude is changing. People are starting to believe that engaging with the arts can help them balance their moods. Anyway, it seems like people have to personally experience something to gain a good understanding of it.
They should thank us for opening their eyes!
That'll probably take some time. They're still droning on and on about experimentation and proof. Would I really gain more appreciation for the arts if they continued to think of everything like that? Anyway, all that aside,
Paimon thinks it'll be a great time! What do you think, Traveler?
alright, then let's head to the theater. Wait, I completely forgot about this pile of stuff!
Whoa! Did you buy all of this?
Just one box. The rest were given to me.
That's way too many freebies! Many vendors give out samples for...
All I know is that whenever I start chatting with people, my hands would get more and more full until I can't hold everything anymore. This seems to happen every time. I was planning on making a few trips to bring everything back before continuing on with my shopping, but I don't think I'll have the time.
So this isn't even
Who's
all of
requesting
it?
on me? Who the fuck? Not right now, mate.
Are you sure?
Of course! Carrying stuff is a piece of cake for him, right, Traveler?
I'm so sorry to trouble you like this. Well, let's hurry.
Okay then. Also, welcome to the chaos. Okay, hold up. Don't tell me we're getting more stuff.
Oh! Well, if it isn't Nilu!
Greetings, Mr. Jute.
You can turn
Do you
that
still
on.
have any food that's ready to go?
Anywho.
Of course I do! I've heard that Zubair Theater is hosting a celebration event, so I've reserved some food for you in advance. Although, it looks like you're gonna need 2 more portions.
Please allow me to introduce them. This is the Traveler, a very experienced adventurer. And this is Paimon, his super reliable guide and helper.
No. Paimon is... hold on. She got it completely right. Look, Traveler! She introduced Paimon correctly!
Don't underestimate Nilu. She always remembers every last little detail about everyone, even if it sounds completely trivial.
I'm not gonna be able to get used to this stuff. I have not been in
She's
Sumeru
also
in a hot
very
minute.
brave. Just a little while ago, she saved my precious spices from the jaws of a sumpter beast.
Hey?
Don't think anything of it. I just help out when I can because everyone else takes such good care of me.
I'm sorry, a sumpter beast was trying to eat spices? The fuck? Huh?
Anyway, sorry to get off topic. We're in a bit of a hurry. Mr. Jute, did you say you didn't reserve enough food?
Okay then. What happened to autoplay?
I was joking. Anyone who runs a business knows to keep some extra stock. After all, orders get changed all the time. Oh, that
I
reminds
swear,
me.
this turns
It
out
seems
like
that
one
these
of...
friends of yours aren't from here. Have they ever tried any delicious tachin?
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking, Nilu and I walking out of the bazaar. She's just carrying this tiny ass fucking box. And I'm walking out with a mountain of crates.
Ooh, what a fantastic idea! Mr. Jute, did you bake a batch recently? Tachin is a mixture of rice and meat that's baked into a cake-like shape. Mr. Jute adds special spices into his.
Drugs.
Its aroma is just so wonderfully delicious. If you ever see kids crowding all around Mr. Jute's place, you know he's baking up a storm.
But is it really just for the
I'm gonna
kids?
add that to
Don't
the
you often follow
recipe
them in
list.
too?
Rice and meat baked
just
into a
can't help
cake.
myself.
We're 2 peas in a pod. Who doesn't enjoy some good food?
Wait here. I'll bring some over.
Okay, but weren't we supposed to be going
What
to a theater?
dish! It's sweet and sour and full of deliciousness! Paimon can't eat it fast enough!
No matter how many times I eat it, it's still so delicious.
I wouldn't have offered it as a treat if I wasn't confident in the taste. I baked a lot just now, and it's all packaged and ready for you.
You made so much.
It was nothing. Making 1 serving or 100 servings is all the same to me. Don't worry about it. Make sure you got everything. Feel free to come back anytime.
I'm starting to understand how you got so many things.
Yeah. Everyone has their own way with words. And it's really hard to say no.
Are you kidding me? More stuff.
Let's...
Nilu, good timing. I have the textiles you ordered. If you took any longer, the Sumpter beasts might have gobbled them up.
Huh?
You and your jokes.
Jude said that some Sumpter beasts ate as spicy.
Oh, yeah, really sorry about that.
Trying to pull anything out of a Sumpter Beast's mouth is like playing a game of tug-of-war.
So they really do
She
eat
played
anything,
tug of war
huh?
with a Sumpter Beast. Okay then.
What's that supposed to mean?
Come now. You know, Sumpter beasts sometimes eat not because they're hungry, but because they like gnawing on things. The textiles you ordered are highly durable and woven from the finest thread. So even if a Sumpter beast got snacky, it'd still have to chomp on it for...
You've tested this before?
But of course! How else could I be so trustworthy?
Well, that
Dare
one time was an
experiment with such a
accident. Oh, that's
precious
funny.
product.
True. It does sound like some good fabric.
Ho ho! Have I piqued your interest? If you want to buy some, now's a good time.
Buy
two
bolts,
bolts
get
and get 20% off.
It's 10% off of both of
That's
those.
a pretty good
Not
discount.
much.
What do you think, Traveler?
No thanks, Mr. Offsheen. You can't use that kind of tactic on her. Look, you've already...
Tactic?
I wouldn't go that far. It's just that Mr. Offsheen is really good at spinning stories. Mr. Zubair gave me a huge lecture the last time I bought too many things.
Come on, don't look at me like that. All she got was a talking to from Zubair, while I was nearly fed head first to the Sumpter beasts. My philosophy is that stories give value to merchandise. That's why my business started with such a boom. Our Nilu here is an extraordinarily
I'm only
good
about
listener.
10 minutes into
Back
this
then,
quest,
she
and
believed
it's
that
just
after a
talking.
while, I began to feel guilty selling things to her because of how happy she looked. Though she enjoyed the stories, and I the Mora, I knew she didn't need... Anyway, since then, I've come to realize 2 things. One...
It's okay. We're all friends now. There's no need to...
That reminds me. Some of the goods from my latest shipment aren't in the best condition. They're fine for general use, but my customers have high standards. Nilu, why don't you take them?
Huh?
Just think of it as a favor for me, alright? The theater... It costs me Mora to store or ship, so I'm just losing money every day continuing to hold on to them.
Even so, let me buy the...
Nah, these goods are hard movers. Besides, if I let you pay, wouldn't it mean that I'm just using stories to... Just take them. If you really feel that bad about it, give me some theater tickets later. Oh, yeah, you should also take some while you're at it. And...
even...
Hurry and take it. Just looking at it all.
Well then.
Still one more store. Are you alright holding on to that much stuff?
I'm literally walking
Paimon,
out with a pile
why
of
don't you lend
stuff.
a hand? He must be tired.
If Paimon were to refuse...
About time, Nilu. Farhad here was snooping around your props.
Please, I was only looking at them to get a better idea of what your new show may be about.
Wouldn't spoiling yourself just ruin all the fun?
Yeah, please wait for our official performance.
These two look familiar. I think I've seen them before. Ah, weren't they at the Sub-Zerus festival?
Yeah, and they're coming to today's celebration too.
Oh, the more folks the merrier. I was actually just talking to Farhad about also stopping by tonight.
Oh yes, please do. I'm sure Miss Raykar and Miss Nadja would also love to have a chat with the two of you.
We even prepared a small gift. Let me show it to you. Ta-da! It's a flower wreath. I really think we should wear some of these to give the event a more celebratory feel.
There's nothing there.
It's beautiful. Did you make it?
Farhad did
God.
most of the work. What a
There it
surprise,
is.
huh? He actually knows a lot about crafts.
That is pretty surprising.
Hey, why can't I have a little side hobby? I worked really hard on that.
Wait, was this one of the
I
guys from
know,
that
I know.
one?
I watched you make it.
event?
I wasn't making fun of
There's
you.
an event back in the
All
beginning
right.
of Sumer where
Why don't
we
you
had
also
to make
try
these
some on?
statues
We've
of
got
the
some wreaths in
R&R.
your size.
It fits perfectly.
They're so pretty! Is there one that Paimon can wear?
Unfortunately, we already gave out all the child-sized ones. I wasn't expecting the theater to invite such a fascinating guest.
Fascinating. Huh. That sounds kind of weird, but Paimon will let it slide.
Oh, you all
You're
sure got
literally
a lot
floating,
of stuff there.
Paimon.
Let me help you carry some. I'm a porter by trade, so this is what I'm best at.
That'd be great! Please and thank you. But we have a pro now!
Thanks for the help, Mr. Farhad. But let me make one thing clear first. Don't try to ask about what's in the new show. Otherwise, I may not be able to hold back Mr. Zubair this time.
You're so obvious that even Nilu saw right through you.
Shut it. Fine. It's not like I want to get on his bad side either. Including Hushang's things, though. We'll each need to carry a box if we want to move everything in one trip. Even my strength has its limits.
Just look at this
Paimon looks like
dude.
she doesn't want to, so I'll carry a little extra. Although I may not appear super strong at first glance, I actually do a lot of strength training on the regular. Strength and balance are both really important for a dancer.
No, let Paimon. Paimon will help carry things. The Traveler's right. Paimon shouldn't freeload.
Oh, she's learning.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
He's still wearing the flower crown.
What a
Oh, that's
mouth-watering
great.
smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani
Why is he still
anywhere.
wearing a
Let's go
flower
get some.
crown?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Oh, it makes me so happy
So
seeing
you
her
two are
without
still hanging out
bandages.
together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
But she said they'll treat you to the best dishes!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip? There are so many places I still haven't...
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like... I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Junior's was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady... You're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? Alright, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them.
Christ.
Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely
Oh, shit.
decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with
Something
him?
just fell down.
He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me. Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Paimon can't fly anymore!
Are you okay, Paimon?
Paimon's good to keep going! But Paimon now understands when people say there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Pets in my office, but soon gave up on the idea. It's just not right to keep small animals where they...
Please be careful. Just don't do anything.
I'm super awesome! Studying is far less fun than making money. Might be able to see Nina perform again.
Alright. Well, I haven't been getting much. And nobody's really been joining. Probably still too early for some stuff. I'll continue this later, maybe when I get more people.